What's up, old school homies? Today we're going to talk about the minimalist concept. This is something that I've lived by just by nature. I didn't have that much money to do all the different hobbies that I've done in my life, but I have done a lot of different hobbies, even expensive hobbies. I would say like the most expensive and painful one would be like trying to restore my 80s BMW, and that just turned into a whole mess where I never really got to drive the car because it costed more than the budget. Made me miserable, made me pissed off, and that was just like one of those classic cases of not being economical and trying to be fancier than everybody else and falling on your face for it, you know. Eventually learned that I should have just bought a Honda like everybody else, and I would have had a car that might have worked. But instead, I had something old and obscure that nobody really wanted to work on. No one knew anything about. There wasn't much parts that I could really get unless I bought them rebuilt, and I spent too much money buying rebuilt parts. So eventually ended up with a turd that didn't pass smog, never got to enjoy. And I learned a lot from that one experience about how it would have been so much nicer had I just got a Honda, you know. So one day my dad offered me to buy any car we want, and he had these two Chevy S10s lined up, 98s, for me and my brother. And he had already made a deal with the business guy, and I was just like, yeah, I was looking for more like a Honda. And it was really sad because like the business guy was like all sold. He figured he sold like 2 cars, and I really just didn't feel that good about buying an American car. Nothing against American cars or German cars, but they're just not for me. Like, I would only buy a Honda car now. And I've owned other Japanese cars too, and I wouldn't own them either. They're fine. They're just not quite a Honda, you know? So that's what staying economical is about for me in that experience. And there's been other stuff I've stubbed my toes on, but that's just like one of those things that's night and day. Like a car I put tons and tons of money into, and I could have bought a whole nother car that would have lasted a long time. And not only that, I never got to enjoy that car. I never drove it. Not even like at all. Maybe a little bit. Not at all.